All right, ladies, it is 8:30, and I just want to thank you for jumping on this call. I just want to welcome Kim and say thank you, Kim, for joining us as well. I am so excited to have you on our call tonight. For those of you that don't know, Kim is the top coach in Canada, which is absolutely amazing. And she is the mom of two and a wife. And I just love following her stories on her Instagram because her passion for this opportunity is just so real. And every time I watch her story, I am just inspired by the energy that she has and the excitement for the opportunities that she has. And so I just love, and I also love how she celebrates her team. So I'm not going to talk lots because I am so excited to hear from you, Kim. And I just want to thank you again. I am so truly grateful for you to be here tonight. And I just can't wait to hear everything you have to share.
Amazing. Thanks, Ashley. Yeah, I'm really excited. I was looking over the topic that we had chatted about. There's a couple, and really thinking on it a lot today. For me, leadership and team culture is super important, and personal leadership is super important. And I think they go hand in hand. Because for me, what I'm learning and what I've continued to learn through my 15 years of management and corporate world and all of these different things and helping to really serve people is that people are people, and people will leave people and people will stay with people. And it's been a really strong thing as Jamie and I really determined as we were kind of building this business. And when I first started, guys, first of all, I just want to share, I was really happy in my corporate job. I was like, I have it made. I am climbing the corporate ladder. I have this fancy title, but inside my soul was being sucked because I had all these great ideas of all the mishmashes of places that I had worked at, had the honor of working at in my corporate career in senior living, which was excellence in customer service, excellence in team building, and really, having an established team culture. And I kept trying to make these changes. And I was working in long-term care. I was working in retirement homes. And I don't know if any of you have worked, and I'm in Canada, so I don't know whether it's any different in the States. I think I see scrubs. No, maybe. Is there some? Yeah, okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, so we got we got some healthcare workers. But, it could be super toxic. As much as we wanted to go bring in this joy and bring in this light, it was like 45 of them were sucking you down with union problems. So it was tough, right? To say the least. So I had to become equipped as a leader really quick and really early on in my career before Beachbody even came into play. So one of the things that I will share that I think I pulled really well from my corporate job and as I kind of figured out my career from that into Beachbody and into this incredible opportunity is that it's kind of similar. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I got out of my corporate job, I was like, I'm free. I'm out of there. Like, I don't have to work anymore. And I do. That's all wrong. And I felt like what happened to me is I actually had a little bit of a step back because I went so far with trying to not have the organization and the team and all these things kind of be a big synonymous operation, because I was trying to disassociate myself from the corporate world so much because my experience at the end wasn't great. And I don't know if that relates to any of you, but what I've started to learn over the last about 2.5 years, where I really started to flip our focus on leadership, team building, friendships, and really just building this cohesive team, I realized, why was I pulling out all that stuff I learned from all the different jobs I had? And I share that with you for a reason. I want you to think back to all the jobs you've had, all the designations you have, even including frontline work. What did you learn? And I'd love for you to write it down, like write down the different jobs you had and the titles you had and the bosses and the characteristics of those bosses and the characteristics with the team you worked with. Oh gosh, dog just came down. Hi, Tess.
Can I have a cookie?
Yeah, where's Dad? I'm on team call, sweet girl.
Oh,
Okay.
hi, Pete.
Hi, peeps. She's my daughter, you can tell. Can you go find Daddy and ask? Okay, thanks, guys. Where was I? Oh yeah, so write down the things that you loved about a manager you worked with or a team member you worked with. And what were the qualities of that team that worked really well? And just find some of the things that you can sort of extrapolate out. When I was working in my corporate, when I was working in my corporate job, and this is gonna be one of these nights. Yeah, this is what's happening. Jamie Fitzpatrick, where are you, my friend? Just one second, just uno second, please. Can you hear me yelling? Okay, perfect. Just kidding. Okay. I'm so distracted right now. Could you just like loop me off where I was? Sorry.
Sorry, you were talking about what worked well on that team and what you liked about the person you were working for.
Okay. Yeah.
Making a list of the things that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Kids and dogs, that totally threw me off my game. So anyway, I'm gonna have to just regroup for a second. So, okay. So one of the things I had to do as I came out of my corporate career was I had to identify, how did I want to pull things forward into our team? And what did I want to do how did we want our team to kind of function? We grew pretty fast. Our team grew pretty quickly, I would say, for sure. And Jamie and I had no idea that when we started this business part-time that we would want to build it and scale this business, or that it was even an option to do that. So one of the things that we really worked hard at in the beginning was building our team culture, Oh yeah, now I know what I was saying, was building our team culture. And it's really important to identify, when you think about team culture and leadership and what that means to you, it's super important to write down your definition of leadership. And what kind of a leader are you? You know, for me, I've always been a servant leader. I have worked for many years in retirement homes, long-term care, and serving people was what I was supposed to do. So when this collided with me, I didn't realize that this opportunity was so parallel to the things that really aligned with my values from a heart perspective. So as you're identifying, what kind of a leader am I? And what kind of a team do I want to attract? And who am I looking for? Because when you're thinking about the women that you want to walk with in this business, you have to look at yourself too. And you need to understand, who am I as a leader? Who am I attracting? And would I join me?
Piper.
I ask myself that question every single night. Would I have joined you today, Kim? In the way you showed up, in the way you showed up on social media, in the way that you showed up in your challenge groups, in the way that you showed up with your team, whether you have one team member or 3 coaches on your team, every single one of those lives matter. So would you join you, and how did you show up today as a leader? Are the questions that I ask. And I do a lot of teamwork or a lot of communication with our team as well. And when I first started building this business, I used Teamsy. And Teamsy was what I loved about Teamsy. I now use Google Streak, but what I loved about Teamsy is that I could put in how much I would love to earn. And they broke down for me how many people that I would have to be in contact with each day. And they had 3 pillars on Teamsy. And I've always built my business since I started with these 3 focuses of how I follow up and who I'm going to talk to each day. So the first one is clients. My community that I already have, I make sure that I'm engaging with my clients every single day. When I didn't have as big a team and as many clients as I had now, I would make sure that I was connecting with anywhere from 10, probably about 8 to 10 clients per day, just as a check-in, one-on-one. So I knew that I'd be able to connect with enough people. For you, that might be 2 or 3, but make sure that you're checking in with your clients. That was the first one. The second thing that I did was I would check in with my coaches, business owners, business leaders. I would check in with discount coaches. How are things going? How are you doing? So I would make sure that not only was I checking in with clients, I was also checking in with my coaches. And I wanted to, because what you need to understand is that everything you do each day as a leader, you're modeling for your team. So when I started modeling for my team, that I was checking in with them either as friend Kim or as business upline sponsor mentor Kim. I'm 2 different people for them, depending on the day they're having, the season they're in, and where they're at in their business. And I would check in with them. And I'd have this little tally, and I'd know that I had connected with enough people. And that was really important to me. And then the last group I did was my prospects, and were people that I wanted to invite into this opportunity, either as a client to join me or as business partners. So those were the 3 I focus on. I still do that to this day, and the numbers vary. The reason why I tell you that, and the reason why I think it's super important, is that consistency is my superpower. I have shown up for 1,245 days. Every single day, I have done that. I have invited anywhere from, when I was starting to build my business, 40 to 80 people a day. I was touching base and talking to and inviting. And it was really important to me that I was building authentic, awesome relationships. And the reason why I had identified the leader that I wanted to be, and the relationships that I wanted to create and cultivate in my Instagram, which I've built really organically, is I wanted them to feel me as a human. I wanted people to see me. A servant leader is someone that can show up with spinach in her teeth. A servant leader is someone that isn't going to delete that story because they fumbled a little bit, right? A servant leader is someone that cares more about giving value to someone else than making it about themselves. And that's really this business. And it's when you can kind of identify what kind of a leader do I want to be and how do I want to show up on social media, you're going to start to attract these incredible, awesome humans that you're supposed to, because you're being you. How do you figure out? So the next thing I want to dovetail into is, how do you figure out who you are? For me, I had a really hard time identifying that. I used to be a hostage to my ego versus a host to what my potential was. And when I say a hostage to my ego, and I don't know whether any of this relates to any of you guys, but how long does it take you guys to put up an Instagram post or to get a message out that you want to talk about? Or how many of you, after you posted, are like, oh my gosh, I just posted it, I'm so stressed out. And then you check for the next 25 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour to 2 hours of who liked your post. Those are all business producing activities. But when your ego gets involved, that's a lack of self-love, that's a lack of self-respect, and that's a lack of self-belief. So the first book I have as a Bible is John Maxwell, and it's the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And if you are not growing as a leader, your business will not grow either. It's the law of the lid. Your business will only grow to which you grow, and your team will only grow to what you grow. So personal development is personal, for sure, but this is like a slap in the face. This is every day. It's just like bam, bam, bam. And I read this as a part of my morning routine. And even sometimes if you just pick up and read 5 pages and keep this on your nightstand or somewhere close to you, you will take your own intrinsic leadership, which is going to ripple out to the team. Okay? So I also realized is that I had 0 morning routine. I was a victim and a slave to my snooze button. I was getting up late to the game, and it was hard because my kids were up and I found I was being reactive. I was late for my corporate job a lot of the time because I was making at that time very pretty pick play posts that were grainy and probably had words written all over them. And I would just kind of think all I needed to get done was my workout. And that was my morning, get a post up. But what I wasn't doing was internal stuff. So a lot of my self-leadership came from when I started to develop a really strong morning routine. So for about 1.5 years, I tried really hard. I would try to meditate, but I was like, it's not for me. I would get up, but I'd snooze my button. And then I listened to Mel Robbins, and she was talking all about the fact, and this might be repeat information for you guys, but I want to share it because I think it's important. And I want to share how long it took me to really get my morning routine down. And it's still learning. I'm still learning it every day. But what I realized was when I snoozed the button, I was actually saying that my business wasn't as important. I was actually saying that my morning time and me being ahead of the game didn't matter. And I was also saying that my goals they didn't really ignite a fire in my belly because I was snoozing the button. Now, that being said, guys, if you do it once in a while, it's cool. Your body's tired, rest. But if you find that you're in a pattern of snoozing, you're not wanting to kind of get up in the morning, I'd really encourage you to look at your morning routine with love and grace, right? It's a lot. The other thing I'd love for you, the second book that I'd love for you, if this is something that's interesting to you guys and you want to develop your morning routine, is The Miracle Morning, just the basic one by Hal Elrod. That changed my life. And I'll tell you why. That sounds dramatic, but it's true. He basically told me I was mediocre and I wasn't showing up. And I want to share with you that was also the same year that I didn't work hard enough with my leaders soon enough in the year for them to build their business where they wanted to go from a rank perspective to diamond. And I wasn't really ahead of the game. And I remember a year ago, it wasn't a year ago, it was like 2 years ago, I didn't hit elite. And I was an elite coach, and then I wasn't an elite coach for a year. And I'm going to share that was probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And also the worst. It was awful. But the best. And I share that with you because I think sometimes we can see coaches or leaders or people that you think just have it all together. And when you don't have a system and habits in place and consistency, your ship's going to break and the holes are going to go and the water's going to come in and you're going to sink. And I felt like I was sinking because I wasn't putting my activities in the right place because I wasn't organized and I didn't have a good habit and I didn't have good routines. Sure, I was still hitting SC. Everything was great. I was bringing coaches on my team. Sure, all of that was awesome. We weren't not doing really well in the business, but something felt off. Does that resonate with you guys where you're just like, why does this feel so hard? I knew why. I didn't have any systems in my own heart. I dealt a lot, guys, and I don't know if this resonates with you, but I was also at the same time I realized that my morning routines weren't locked down, that I got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. I realized that a lot of my anxiety came from lack of preparedness. So if you feel anxious about something, it's because you're not prepared. And I started to realize that if I wanted to build a 6-figure income independently of my husband, who I co-build this business with, and if I wanted to do that, if I wanted to build a team, if I wanted to become the top coach in Canada, it was never even on my radar because I didn't think I could do that. I didn't think that was possible for me because I wasn't dreaming very big. And part of the routines and part of what I realized is I actually hadn't set clear goals. I didn't have any clear goals. So who's going to join my train when I'm like going down this very, very wooded bush? Like, you know, I was like with sticks whapping me. That's what it felt like. You know, I don't know how many of you have kids. When you try to take your kids shopping with you, grocery shopping, it's like being whacked with a noodle, like a pool noodle repeatedly in the cheese section. And you're like, stop. That's what this business is like without your goals and without a routine and without your habits. And without being so locked in to what you needed to do. So when I got diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder, I realized that as much as I've been doing personal development and I'm reading my book and I loved it. I did too much of it though. I don't know if that resonates with you guys, right? It's like that unchecked fear, right? Or that if there's an unchecked box, there's unbelief, fear, something like that. There's like a saying that it's like unchecked fear creates unbelief. Unchecked fear creates unbelief. So how many of you use your business activity tracker? Yes. Woo! Okay. I don't know about you, but we talked a lot about this on our team and I've done this. So I want to share it. How many of you check it off to check it off? Right? Some days you're like, I did that. Because unchecked fear of I'm not going to grow my business. I haven't done what I need to do. I've probably wasted my time not building income producing activities becomes unbelief in what you're doing. And it becomes you not believing in yourself. And it becomes you putting your dreams on the sidelines. And it becomes you chasing all those goals you have, putting them behind the 8 ball. So Miracle Morning, Hal Elrod. I was playing totally small with my life. I could completely control my anxiety. I could completely control, now that I had a diagnosis of PTSD, I knew I wasn't crazy. And I was actually told to my face, I'm very pro therapy. So if anybody has ever gone through a lot of trauma in your life and you feel like your business is getting in the way, you probably just need to go be validated and probably get a big hug and told that you're good enough and told that what happened to you wasn't okay and told that you're loved and that you're safe. Because I needed to hear that. And sometimes we go on social media and we try to put on this big facade and we aren't us and we won't attract the people we want and we won't build the business we want. So all that said, personal leadership has to come before you can build team leadership. Personal leadership has to come before you build team culture because you have to have your own culture. You have to have your own values. You have to have your own mission and your own vision. And the only way I found that was to shut up and get silent and wake up early and meditate and pray and find faith again, whatever that means for you guys. But I had to find some faith again because it was pretty dark for a bit. And I'll tell you something, that when you start sharing the stuff that's getting you lost and down and heavy, the light comes in. And you know what can't live in light? Shame, guilt, darkness, because you're sharing, and it's okay, right? I think a lot of times when we become coaches and health and wellness coaches, we think we have to be this pillar of perfection, this pillar of health. Guys, this is actually healing. Health, Heal, is healing. And healing is so synonymous with health and this business. We aren't in a fitness business. I'll just tell you all that now. So if you're really great at showing your workouts, that's awesome, but you're not going to attract or build the team you want. This business is about mindset. This business is about lifestyle. This business is about wellness in a holistic perspective. This business is about physical health, emotional health, mental health, and financial health, which equals wealth. So I got lock solid on my morning routine, and I had to figure that out. So some of my tools, I'm going to show you my tools. I'm going to share something with you guys really quick. When I show you what my morning routine is, you're probably going to be like, that's awful. What does she do all day? Because I probably just do my morning routine. I have it down to a fine science because I spend 20 minutes, which totals an hour for me that serves my soul. You have to find what serves you and the time that you have based in what you have. I'll share something. My morning routine is not included in my business hours, nor is my workout. That doesn't count for me plugging into my business. So if you have an hour to work in your day, your half an hour workout doesn't count. That's something you should be doing on your own time. So I'm just going to put that there. So I love my affirmation cards. I use Love Powered Co. and I just draw a card. The cool thing about this is when I draw this card, I also share it with my accountability group. So we do this together. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. As I'm filling my soul, I'm teaching my client group that they can do this too. So my morning routine is also what my clients do. And guess how many of them are turning into coaches? Because they're getting their hearts in line and they're getting their passions in line. And their morning routine looks different than mine, but we're similar. And it's fun because we all kind of hold each other accountable. So Love Powered cards, affirmation, I use one card. I love the 5-minute journal. I find it super simple, super easy. I actually messaged them, was like, could you please give me a discount code that I can give to the network? Because people ask me all the time what my journal is. So I'm going to let you know as soon as they get back to me. But it's super simple. It is 3 things you're grateful for. What would make today great? 3 things. Daily affirmations. And then in the evening, you think about what was amazing that happened today and what could I have done to make today even better? Tessie, is that you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Okay, I love you. Okay, that's great. Okay, I love you. Thanks.
You don't know where my doll is?
Your doll. What doll?
Like the one that I got.
In your bedroom? Where's your father? Okay, sweetie, I'm just on a team call. You have to just give me a hot second. Okay, go get your daddy. Okay, babe? So I love this. And I also reflect on this for my business as well. One of the things that Robin Sharma recommends is journaling out too. So I'm going to try that. I actually was thinking, because I was at the Rise conference this weekend, the Start Today journal is pretty cool because it's about 10 dreams and it is about mapping out your dreams and all that. So I swear I had the craziest day of my life today. Will not go into it, but I had so many crazy things happen. And I started, for some reason, I was meditating and all of a sudden the Start Today journal kept coming through. The 10 dreams, your goals, like where and what are you visualizing? So the 5-minute journal doesn't have that. It doesn't have that visualization and the goals. That's a crucial part. And I think this was because I was listening to Robin Sharma today and he's got a great app that I'm going to teach you guys about. And I was like, oh yeah, right. I'm not writing down, I want to achieve this goal and this goal and this goal. What I do is I read my vision statement from the Rise Up Journal, which is my business tool Bible, but it kind of changes every day. And when you read it versus when you write it, it's totally different. So I don't know if that serves you, but that's another thing I'm thinking about adding into mine is just as I'm writing in my 5-minute journal, adding my dream in too. Just adding a dream in, One line, doesn't need to be big and huge and audacious, but just something that acknowledges what I'm more working for, what's my clearer vision. The other thing I really love, I like this book. It's called Heart Talks by Cleo Wade. And it's one of those books that you can just open up a page and it's just one page. It's just one page. So like here, this one, it says, surround yourself with people who deserve your magic. These are awesome for your Insta stories. And you can just snap a picture and upload them after. And so you're including your morning routine. Because guys, people want to know what you're doing. They want to know what serves you. So this stuff may not look what yours looks like. Well, what does your morning routine look like? I share my mama juice every morning, and I probably sell anywhere from 8 to 10 energizers a week. Just here you go, link, and sell the pre-workout because I'm sharing it, and I've been sharing it forever and ever and ever. So what is a part of your morning routine, and how are you sharing, but not selling, but sharing you and sharing your heart and sharing what you do in your life with the community and the people that you have to serve. So I like that book. Again, it could be any book or poems, but this is kind of my jam. So 5-minute journal, love powered quote, one card, 5-minute journal, one page, open this, one page, should take about 8 minutes when I'm just not distracted. There's some great meditation apps. I have a meditation coach. Her name is Angela Coton, and she actually is doing a symphony. I use her for Symphony of the Minds, and it's a leadership-infused meditation, and it really serves me well. We have a lot of our team members on it. Again, everything I do, a lot of my leaders do, and they do it their own way, but we focus a lot on personal leadership because our collaborative culture is it's a we thing, not an I thing. And if I'm getting my heart in line and I'm really being able to come from a place that's non-judgmental, no drama, we have a rule that the only drama is allowed in our lashes or in our high hair because nobody's got time for drama on a team. This is your own business, and we have to be business owners and stewards of that. So how you act is who you'll attract. What you think is what your reality will become. I had a lot of opportunities in my life to have me doubt everything I do. I didn't grow up with a lot of love. I wasn't told I was good enough. I wasn't told I was smart. I was told everything the opposite of what a child should be told a lot of the time. There's a little bit of love, but it was, they did the best they could. Let's say that. But my inner child needed love too. And we need to parent. This is big stuff, right, guys? For some of you, you may be like, I don't know what the heck she's talking about. And that's okay because it's going to come up. And in order for us to really build the business you want, you have to become rock solid inside with love and abundance and no scarcity. And all of that comes from the way in which you start your morning. So if you're snoozing your button, you're not reading a book, you're not leaning into you, you're not giving yourself time to listen and download, you're going to be chasing other people's dreams. And you're going to be watching what other people are doing. And if your morning consists of watching everybody else's stories to see what they're doing, we got to fix that. Because you're worth this, and you're worth this time. And I have to fight for it. I have to fight to not go in my inbox. I actually have my clients will get mad at me if they get a message from 4/7. They're like, what are you doing? You hypocrite. You are messaging me. So give yourself permission, but give yourself grace. It's never going to be great. So it's never going to be perfect, right? So this morning, for example, I started to do my workout first. I was like, okay, I'm going to switch this up. I'm going to work out first because this is my other book. Sorry, last one. The 5 a.m. Club. Robin Sharma is my most favorite human. I love him. He has been a mentor of mine for 13 years. He has an incredible app with meditations in it. It's free. It's a free 5 a.m. Club app. And every day you get a little video from Robin Sharma and your mind will be blown. Like, it will just make you level up in 4 minutes. It's insane. And they've got shorter meditations and longer ones. But what I love about Robin Sharma is he talks about greatness. He talks about walking with the giants. He talks about belief. He talks about your untapped potential in your visceral belly that we all have. And it's important. Again, as you will only grow, your business will only grow as much as you grow. So when I know the vital behaviors, one of them is the most important one. It's personal development. And I think the second one, guys, is recognizing yourself just as much as you recognize your team. So I'd love for you to add on your business activity tracker, what did you celebrate today? What did you celebrate that you did well today? What were your wins? Where's your proof? Because when someone quits on you, or a diamond decides they don't want to do it anymore, or someone says, I'm sorry that you're in a qualification for something that matters to you, I'm on a camping trip, you have to be equipped with your vision and your goal and where you want to go with this. And the only way to do that is have a lock solid routine. So this is super key. It doesn't mean that every morning has to be perfect, but you have to figure out something that serves you and start small. I love what's called habit stacking. So if you get up in the morning and you brush your teeth, as soon as you're done brushing your teeth, which is like automated, it's a habit, say 3 things you're grateful for. Write them down on your mirror with a Marquee, a Sharpie. Just start doing something that you can start getting into the habit of this becoming automatic for you. The other thing that I would really encourage, and again, I use this as an awesome book. It's by Moira. I can never say her last name. She's one of my dear friends, and I can't say her last name. Kusaba. But what I will share is if your planner is empty, I will ask you, how's your bank account? So do you have names written down? Do you have lists? Do you have a system? And what does your planner look like? Do you have your times mapped out? Do you have times blocked off? Have you treated this as a business? So just as much as you need to get your habits in check, again, my team culture wouldn't be very, very powerful if I didn't know what I was posting about or what I was promoting for or what was going on or where I was going or the women that I wanted to speak to or the events that were really important. So I'd really encourage you to get your business in order from a personal perspective, and then you can focus on your leadership and your team. Because that is the way this business works. Every single time you get a little bit stronger, you post about it and you talk about it. Every single time that you learn something new about genealogy or your back office or team volume or cycle bonuses, you start to get more competent. Write that down. Win at that. Talk about that. Rehearse it. Teach it. Because team culture isn't built overnight, but personal culture is. Every night it's built. So you have to identify what's going on inside and who do you want to be and where do you want to go, and you need to show up as her every single day. Because the person we all are right now, is not who we are going to need to be tomorrow to accomplish our goals. So you have to decide where you want to go and where you want to grow. And you have to get so intentional with your morning routine. And then don't have an evening routine. Don't even ask me what I do in the evening. It's just gone to the wind. It's my next thing I need to work on. But get laser focused on your morning routine because I know it will ripple into everything else. So I know I've got about 9 minutes left. So I'm going to talk very quick about team culture for 5 minutes, and then we can do questions if you want. Is that cool? Okay. You don't have to go and get all these books, but I'm practicing for Summit. So these are my Bible leadership books. So I'm obsessed with them. This is probably the easiest read of life. It's You Don't Need a Title to Be a Leader by Mark Sanborn. And it's really easy and awesome. And I have every page, what's it called? Marked and highlighted, all that good stuff. So You Don't Need a Title to Be a Leader is awesome. It's a short, easy read. I also really love Dare to Lead by Brene Brown. I love Fearless Leadership. I listened to Carrie speak at Entre Leadership, and she is a powerhouse, incredible leader. This is on team building. This is on epiphanies at work. This is strengths-based leadership. And this one is called Leadership by John Maxwell. So again, you don't need to all go out and get all these books. This has been something that I've accumulated for 15 years, and so's Jamie. but our team culture is evident of our learning. And again, you will only grow as much as you're willing to grow. So I love self-help books. I think they're amazing, but I want to invite you to read a leadership book or a business development book as well each month. Because I can probably guarantee you, if you did a 24-hour clock, maybe you need to sacrifice some of the things that you're currently doing to fit this in. If you want to build a big business or a business, like depending on what your goals are. So that may not resonate with any of you, but it might. So business books, leadership books are really key. The other thing is too, is I would research again, what type of a leader you are and who do you align with? You know, what speaks to your soul from a leadership perspective? You know, I love Brendan Bouchard, Wayne Dyer, Rachel Hollis. I love John Maxwell. There's so many different ones that I love. I love Dave Ramsey, Chris Hogan. There are so many different people that you can figure out who speaks to you, but you kind of have to figure that out. The other thing that we really identified as a gap in our team culture was communication. I don't know about you, but when we had coaches start or leaders start, it was really easy for them to be in the training and then they were kind of gone and they never got themselves through the training. So one of the things that I've really been working with is working with just small pods of women every month. And I keep them focused. I keep them really engaged in these small little pods that we work in together. And it's really changed everything for us. You know, when I started to drop my Rise Up planner, so every week I share my goals, and your goals, you know, your yearly goals should be mapped out. Your monthly goals should be reflecting your yearly goals. Your weekly goals should be reflecting your monthly goals. Like, I am way off my monthly goals right now. I know that. I am so discombobulated. And I shared that with my team today, being like, okay, here's how I'm feeling. And I just need to rein it all in because there's all these things or fun things are happening. I need to get my shiznizzles together for Morning Meltdown, and let's do this together. So instead of having to know it all, instead of being a fiery marching leader, the way in which I work is being really open and transparent. I'll share with you what happened. We had 7 diamonds say, I was super struggling today. Oh my gosh, I was crying on the floor in my bathroom today. Oh my gosh, I was doing that. I'm really struggling with my health and nutrition post-cancer. Okay. That's what matters. When you can be a leader that's okay with admitting, this is where I'm at. Here's where my struggle is, and having 2 solutions to every setback. So what did I do as a solution today? So I went in and I shared, here's where I'm at. I allowed myself an hour to procrastinate and plant my gardens and put away laundry, which I don't know that resonates with you guys, but I'm really good at that when I have a big thing to do, like inviting and getting organized, right? Because that's easier. It's easier to do laundry. It's easier to those things. So I did a hard thing, and I leaned into my team, and I told them where I was at, and I told them that we're 6 months away from the end of the year, and let's reflect, let's pause, and let's drop our goals. And we all did that together. When you don't feel like doing it, you got to show up. When you're emotionally charged, you got to show up. When Rachel Hollis wears your new headband line on her live stream and tells the world what your name is and how to follow it, you still show up because that happened today and I'm freaking out. But you got to show up. You got to pull yourself back in and keep yourself focused. And you do that through consistency. And you do that through a strong team. And you do that through having grace and knowing that you're okay. And as long as you show up every day, you're going to be just fine. And that's all I have for you.
Thank you. So like my head's spinning. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. So many amazing points for us just to reflect on and to take with us. And I think we've all been in that spot where you just struggle and you doubt what you're doing as a leader and in your own journey. And so thank you for those really like key things just to help us push through that and just continue to press on. Really, really grateful.
Good. So important. Well, good, because I kind of practiced what I need to talk about at Summit, some stuff. So thank you guys for being my guinea pigs. Danielle, close your ears. No. Does anyone have any questions? I'm trying to get Jamie to put the kids to bed, so keep me on for a few more minutes. Does anyone want to ask me a question while I'm here? No? Okay.
No one? I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
That was awesome. Awesome. You, your leadership style and what we do here resonates a lot. Kim, I think I told you that before with the pods and everything. So having everything you said was just gave me tingles. So I just want to thank you guys so much. Oh my God, thank you. I can't wait to hear what you're going to say at Summit.
I'm just hyperventilating over here. Anyway, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Have an amazing night and just map out some goals and share them with the team. I'm sure you guys have done that, but like, go look at them. Do they fire you up? Are you worried because you don't know how to get there? Ask, talk about it. You know, make a plan, guys. We've got 6 months left. Imagine what you could do in the next 6 months together, right? So whatever your goal is, if it's emerald, if it's ruby, if it's diamonds, double it. Double it and ask how. Because it's the same thing. And I want to cheer you all on. Next Summit. Walk marching across the stage. So, you know, and I want you to have a team there. Because this feels so cool. So just, you can do it. But we got to lean in. You got to show up every day. And you're not alone. And you can't screw up. One of Rachel Hollis's things she said as we left the conference, she gave us, everyone's going to love this. Our entire team's like, I'm in. I can do this challenge. Every day you have to fail for 30 days. And you have to talk about what you failed at and what you sucked at. She said, I want you to suck at something every day. Just be awful. Because then you can be reflective and you can go forward. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. All right, guys.
Amazing.
Okay. Have a good night.
You.